right now. And your frustration will be with those who are still living under a veil. It won't be your inability to deal with this so much as the fact that others cannot see or hear. Having eyes and having ears means to be connected to the creative spirit and to know this language, and you can only functionally use this language through the creative spirit. Then it will put knowledge into you, and you will know. You will just know. No matter how glib somebody is talking to you, no matter how strategic, even if they're using neurolinguistic programming, you'll catch it from moment to moment. You'll know. Now, one word of advice, okay? When you're dealing with humans and you're thinking, oh gee, I'm reading into what everybody says to me. Well, remember, that's your choice. You don't have to always be looking for it, and I'm not saying reading into it. But if you have a significant other or some sort of spouse that you live with or someone you're around all the time, please listen to this together. All right? So you're not bugging them. If they don't know of this and you're sitting there and say, oh, you just said this to me and that to me, you're going to drive them nuts. And another thing, their conscious mind won't be aware of it. I got news for you. You'll think it is because they'll be so precise in response to your thoughts. You'll think that it's a body snatcher or something. Some alien took them over and is reading your mind, or the demon's reading your mind, because it is so precise. You'll see you're not conforming what's happening to some sort of belief system and delusionally making it true in your mind. No, it'll be far too specific, and you'll know what I'm talking about when it happens, okay? But if you say it to their conscious mind, your spirit just told me this, or the demon around you just told me this, or an entity through you, or the spirit, the grand spirit, the total creative spirit just told me this, they're not going to know it. Not yet. Not until people repair a little bit more. But right now, their conscious mind will think you're absolutely nuts. So, if you're with somebody, or you have a partner that you live with, listen together so at least you're both aware of what I'm saying, so that you don't upset each other. And don't nag on each other all the time. Wisdom is not overreacting to everything that happens. If you're going to sit there every minute and be like, you just coughed in response to my thought, okay, when you start to learn this, maybe that will be interesting for you and you'll want to bring it up. But people, if you get a couple months into it and you keep harping on each other, you're not wise. You should have learned by now that it's just natural, just part of your existence. And you're going to go through stages. You're going to look around, and sometimes you'll start laughing because you realize that everything you look at is you on one level. And you'll see other parts of you arguing with themselves. It's like I said tonight. I told that girl that she meant me because she needed to get over the fight with her husband. I knew that inherently was put in my head. Because their argument, their tension, their anxiety has a scalar effect on the larger existence that we make up. And it's just that simple. It's not that you're looking at a mirror of yourself all the time. Often, it is the Spirit speaking directly to you. Learn this, be diligent with it, and then you will see proof of the Spirit. That will give you what you need to feel comfort and confidence and knowledge of it, to rejoin with it. You'll know when that happens. Oh yeah, you'll know. Some things I just haven't told you because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm going to be more limited in my responses with email because I want to get off the internet here. It's too poisonous. It's too poisonous. Just sitting there online like that is poison. With the constant subliminal barrage in every way, people's minds being hijacked by the negative entities to want to argue with me and all of that. I want to help, man, but I'm not going to carry the whole world on my shoulders. So you all need to be proactive. Like I said, I'm not the teacher, I'm the student. If you refuse to learn this, then the teacher will go away. All right? So, meaning, if you hear me now, and you say, well, John, tell me this or tell me that, or you don't do it. You don't do the keys to God like I told you in The Healing Begins Now. You don't activate your spirit. You don't activate the love in you, and you don't become aware of your surroundings. Hey, what else can I tell you? You're saying to the spirit, no thanks. And at that point, I can't help you. The creative spirit loves you. Love it back. Let it teach you. I cannot stress that more. And understand, you think I'm kidding, but once your veil is lifted, the whole consciousness knows, including the demonic, cancerous consciousness. It knows. You'll see what I mean when that happens. Then it will try to discredit you. Now, ironically, the ones with the strongest spirits are probably the ones that have deviated in many ways in their life, because they had to do that. They know who's here on behalf of the Creator as a new spirit, because you light up, you shine bright, and they know right away, and they come after you early to try to get you, to possess you, and corrupt you, and do all of these things. Why? Because they know that it's very likely that you would speak out. Is that too hard to figure out? So they have to screw with you. They have to get you to deviate and do things that society is conditioned to point their finger at you for, so as to keep you from speaking out. The flip side to that is once you know the creative spirit, once it comes to you and basically says without words, bang, I am, and you'll know what I mean, you're not going to care what people say about you. Okay? But just know that suddenly, like a football being thrown to a running receiver, two lines intersecting, the discrediting is the same way. Remember, time, past, present, future is not what you think it is. Things just suddenly show up. However, you will be armed with, you won't be armed against men, because mankind is, the majority is just under huge mind control. When you see it for yourself, you'll know what I'm saying. Okay? You can't keep them from discrediting you. You just can't. But you won't care. You won't care. Because one moment, one microsecond, with the powerful, commanding love of the Creator who says, I know you were duped. I know that they were doing it through your mind, and your spirit is innocent, and you're learning, and you're rehabilitating, and you've made that choice with me. It is my opinion that matters. Do not worry. Just don't turn from me. It will have your back, and I'm telling you, to have God have your back, that's not a bad deal. You hear what I'm saying? Forget what people think of you. You've heard it before. He who is free of sin cast the first stone. All right? It's the insanity that has been created and stirred up in humankind. Forget what they think about you. Just love the creative spirit. I'm telling you. No matter how weird it gets, no matter how, and you'll be tested too. I was. Things might be allowed to happen to you. And you'll find that you'll seek answers. When I was first awakened, it was quite traumatic. I tried to handle it. I'm going to buy tourmaline, and I'm going to buy this crystal and that crystal, and orgone. Yes, I've tried orgone. Didn't work. The whole thing, man. I need to talk to a psychic. I need to go see this or that. Why are you going through all that? Why is it allowing you to go through that? Because you're going to find there's only one way to deal with it. Over and over, no matter how variable the circumstance, there is only one way to deal with it. The creative spirit of everything. And so, things may be very uncomfortable at times, but you'll see why it's necessary, because you need to overcome this reality. If you are dependent upon the positive opinion of you from mankind, then you are incredibly vulnerable to their negative opinion. Do you understand?